What's up, everybody? Welcome to Yellow Skunk Farms. Quick disclaimer, this is a 21-year-old and up channel, so if you're not 21 years or older, please leave the channel now. Appreciate it. We are coming into day 5 of veg for the new plants. Hopefully, ladies. We're not sure. We're going to get them tested, though. We will get them tested before we go too far. Just waiting on the tests now, actually, but everything is looking great. Plants look good. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which we don't know if they're male or female yet. Once we find out if they're male or female, we'll be cutting it down to 4, since we can only grow 4 here in Virginia legally. But as soon as we find the ones we're going to keep, that is what we're going to do. So we'll get them tested, sex tested. We'll just clip off a leaf, send it off to the lab. They'll send us back their results. Once we figure out which ones are female and which ones are male, we'll cut the males out. And then if we have more than 4 females, we'll pick the best one and go from there. What's up, Cooter? And Pooter. We fed them this morning. Oh, there's Plinko. Don't see Scooter anywhere. She's probably back behind that log there. I can't see. Oh, look who stuck his head out. What's up, Digger? He threw a carrot down there, but he has no interest in the carrot or the greens. Seems like he's a worm guy or isopod. That's all he pretty much eats. We've got our monstera. You can see we pulled it back some more, actually. Took that rope right there, that hemp line, and just yanked it back, trying to create more room. You can see it's just going crazy. Thing is just ginormous. And then we're working on the new. This is going to be the garden pond. This is well, I say garden pond. This is going to be the food garden. This is our, well, medicine over here, food medicine over here. How about that? Because food is medicine. So this is where we have notched out some of this here. And then what we'll do is raise up the soil a little bit. We'll put some extra soil in here. We'll create a bridge that comes up where Digger or any of the turtles can come out, come through Marco's pass right there, come on up, enter into the food garden. We'll make it to where, you know, this is going to come up. It'll just be a path through there. We'll make it to where they can't get out this way. We'll just put some rocks. Once we get up to this point, we'll put a couple rocks that kind of hang over, kind of like that one there. You see how it just hangs over? That'll create that lip to where the turtles can't get out and over it. It's kind of the same situation we did over here. So the turtles can come up, but if they try and come this way, they're going to run into this wall here. If they try and go that way, they're going to run into that wall over there. Everything pushes them back into the pond. So if they were to try and climb up, which they do like to climb, they'll climb up that wall and fall right back into the fish pond. This keeps them out of our grow area. But as far as the food, we'll allow the Digger will come on over and eat some carrots or eat some peas or whatever he wants. We're going to grow carrots and peas and okra, tomato. These are just a couple of things I've thought about. We can pretty much do whatever we want. We're going to have 3 new lights. So just like over here on this side, 1, 2, 3. So the bed is 1, 2, 3 minus the fish pond. I don't want light directly over the fish pond. I want that UVA and B light over there with the heat, which is what we have there. But other than that, I don't want that light directly over the fish pond. It creates too much of an algae. It gets enough of that residual light, you know, it's very low light. Comes in from the side. But we're going to get 3 more light Grandmasters. Boom, boom, boom. One up there, one down here, one over here. And that will give us all the light we need. And those are Grandmaster. These are the Tarantula Borg Evolutions, which he's sending us some of his new ones. These are about a year and a half old. You can see the driver on top is huge. Completely adjustable. We got 4-channel system. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the cool blue, warm or cool white, warm white, red, far red. Right now I'm only running 196 watts. I'm at 32% total power on all 3 lights at 100% on the cool white. That is giving me the perfect light for these babies in here. We're around 400 ppfd, maybe 390 in some places, but mostly everywhere I looked was about 400, 410, which is perfect, right where I want to be. I don't want to be too hard on them because I don't want to feed too fast. So the light is basically giving us, you know, the photons, the photosynthesis that the plants are doing. And if we do too much, they'll overfeed themselves, so to speak, and we get bad things happening. So what I'm doing now is kind of a low and slow. We want to do a low and slow on the light, and we'll get great growth with the low and slow. Once they get up here big where they can actually take the light, then we can really crank up the light up into the 500, 6, 7, but they will grow up into it. Once they get up into here, you know, week, you know, maybe 3. Right now we're only day 5, so we're not even finished week 1 yet since we brought them in here. They were, what, maybe close to 2 weeks old in the pots when we brought them in. But since then they have grown up, they are growing. Got some good growth. You can definitely see that the roots have set in. Now that the roots have set in, we'll start to see the growth. This one's always had that little discoloration in the leaf there and there. You can see a little bit of it in that one too. Same cultivar. These are Deadhead. Damn it, can't never remember. Dyslexic ass. It's a Deadhead OG times raspberry cheese. What was it called? Raspberry Deadhead. Deadhead OG times raspberry moon cheese. That's from Luna Whitcomb. I also got her Lunar Kim. Kim Dog times raspberry moon cheese. Oh, and you see our outdoors. We're going to be picking some outdoors. And this one is a Orangelina. It's from OK Calyx. Beautiful plant. Actually, one of the bigger ones in the grow. We've got a big one over there. These two are about the same size, but this one is doing well. The two in the middle seem to be doing well. That was the problem on the center bed. The center bed is where we were getting too much water, so we removed a lot of that, and I think we've got it back in balance. We're gonna find out. Look at Pooter over there. Trying to get down and He has no problem moving around in there. He'll come out the bottom. But now I see why my pump is being pushed around. He came out this. Well, now I know what's going on, how that pump keeps getting pushed up. Pooter. See, I had that pump pushed like towards the wall, and he just went in there and moved it. We'll leave it there. I mean, that's where they want it, and that's where it'll stay. Obviously, he didn't like it where it was, so he moved it himself. And if I move it back, he'll just go back in over there and move it again. So it isn't my decision. They'll put the things they can move, they'll put where they want. Oh, there's another thing I wanted to show you too. I was checking the EC on the water yesterday, and I couldn't believe. So most of the time in like an aquaponics system or like the fish pond, for instance, if I go out my outdoor fish pond, if I stick the EC meter, this is the EC meter. This also does CF, it does EC, does PPMs, 500 to 7. But the EC is what I'm looking for. That's electrical conductivity. This is going to tell me how strong nutrient, how much electricity is in the water. So if I was mixing up fertilizer, so to speak, and I was going to put it on my plants, depending on the size of the plant. So right now, these babies, if my light's around 3 to 400, that's where my electrical conductivity should be. So if I were to mix up some ferments and some fertilizer, stick it in the water, mix it up, get this up to where it flashes at 2 to 300, I know I'm not overcooking my plants. And then as we increase the light intensity, we can increase the ppms on the EC. So there's literally nothing. I get no reading in the pond. So that means my water is clean. There's like zero conductivity going on, or if there is, it's under 100. It's not registering on the meter. I'll show you the difference. Let's check out the JLF bucket. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a JLF bucket. So watch the meter on this. Taps it out. So if I were to take a little bit of that and put it in some, like maybe a couple of drops into a gallon, it'll read maybe 100. Or we keep adding drops until we get up to 100. And that's all we would need. So that in the bucket out there is super strong. And here, there's nothing, which is a good thing. I don't want a whole lot. That means I can I can feed as much as I want, and I have to worry about the EC going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I can feed the fish. If I overfed the fish, then the EC would go up because there'd be food in there, there'd be things, the nitrites, nitrates, the ammonias, all that chemical stuff that I don't try and know too much about because I'm dyslexic, so I don't even try and remember that stuff. Like, I'm focused on the basics, I'm focused on the fundamentals of nature and how nature works, and then I'm going to let her balance herself out. That's my mindset. I'm not trying to make a perfect plant. I'm trying to create an ecosystem where everything comes together in harmony, and I don't have to do anything other than to play with the fish, feed the turtles, feed the fish, steward the creek, steward the grass, just maintaining the simple basics, and then letting Mother Nature and the biology do the work for me. Do everything that comes in a bottle can be produced by microbiology. That's simple fact. I mean, it's pretty much, unless you get into the science where it's created in a laboratory, which I'm not doing that. This is 100% all natural. I'm using wood. We're using what we grow. We're chopping and dropping. You can see how the wood just disintegrates over time. This is an old cannabis stock. It just, over time, it just will break down. Look how it's easy for me to just break it open. All this wood will eventually get broken down back into the soil, eaten up by the fungus and the bacteria. It's usually the fungus that eats the wood. So we got to have the wood in here, the woody material for the fungus to eat and grow. The bacteria eats on, this is an old avocado. But the worms will eat the sand, silt, and clay. It's coming up out of the creek. All the fish, a little bit of the fish waste. Now that we check the EC, we know that there's not a whole lot of fish waste or unused fish waste in the creek. We have clean water. There's not, the EC isn't there. The pH, I haven't checked, but I know the pH is somewhere around 7 to 7.5, which is perfect where I want to be. 7 is equal to everything. I know the plants want to be around 6.5 to 6, but everything else wants to be at 7. So if we stay around 7, 7.5, everything is available to the plant, and the plant can take care of itself when it comes to pH. Around that rhizosphere, it will do what it needs to do to get to the pH that it needs. It will uptake all of that nutrient is being broken down by the biology, by the protozoa and the nematodes and all the crazy things down there. You got to see it. Check out the video on the post, on my post. Check out the agro soil microscope video where Mo does his scoping. You'll see some crazy stuff. All good stuff too. It's all things breaking down these nutrients. This algae that I pull out of the creek, all the poo that's trapped in this algae. Just gonna put it right in the soil. Keep putting it in there over and over and over, day after day, and eventually it'll just build up, give us that great microbiome that I'm looking for in the soil. The guts. We need healthy guts. And the soil is our guts. We got healthy gut, we get healthy mind, healthy everything else. Everybody's happy, healthy, and moving along day after day, right? That's what we do. What do you think, Coot? Pooter, you're over there messing my stuff up. But I guess it ain't mine no more, it's yours, so you do what you want. Pooter ate pretty good this morning when we fed. You can see how big the pond is. I hope that gave a better view of how big, because Pooter is a good pound goldfish. Easy. So this is about 200 when it's full all the way up to where the hose goes in, which we still have quite a bit of room. You can see that. But we don't want to go too high on that, because if we lose power, if the pump quits, the excess water in the creek is going to flush into here and raise the water level up. So that's why this lip here, Okay, is here. So if I get over this, if water is up over this lip, up into here, then I know that if the pump cuts off, then the excess water will exit through the exit hole there where the hose goes out. Now, if water ever did get there and flow out, it would not matter because that list leads right back into the bottom of this box here. By design, that water would flow out and down a chute, down underneath, and it would end up in this hole here. Eventually end up in the hole. So that's a safe point. So there's, you know, that was, like I said, by design. There's at least in the pond now probably 190 to 200 gallons. There's another probably 30 to 40 in the creek itself, you know, because the creek is, you know, a couple of inches deep in certain spots. It's a couple of inches deep. Certain spots it's not that deep. Like down here I don't think it's that deep. Yeah, over here it's only to there, so a half an inch to an inch. You know, in other places it's, you know, deeper. This one on the new build, this one's going to be definitely a deeper trench creek running through. It's going to be narrower but deeper and have a lip coming up to where we can put stones and stuff on the lip, and then the lip will be underwater as well, but it'll also hold that sand and silt where we can plant plants like water plants along the edge of the creek a lot easier than it is over here. So over here there is no lip. Everything just kind of slides down into the creek. But if we were to come up and then put a shelf here and then come up over, everything that slid down wouldn't end up in the center washing into the pond. It would just sit on that lip and create like another whole eco zone. Oh, look at that. Is that a black soldier fly carcass? That is. That's a black soldier fly carcass. Hold on. Let me focus. Drop it. It's just a shell of a black soldier fly. The larva. Just put that right down in there. Sorry about my camera work. I can't get this. There we go. So yesterday I just saw black soldier flies flying all around everywhere. Now I don't see any. But what I don't see are gnats. I don't see any fungus gnats. You know, that the soil has dialed itself in to the point where I don't see any flies or gnats or pests. Everything just seems to be in harmony. I mean, of course I know there's a few thrips in here and probably some spider mites, but everything is in balance. So it doesn't really matter if they're in here or not. They're not going to attack a healthy plant. They're going to attack all the other little things that are in here. And if anything gets out of hand, I'll be able to see it before it gets to the cash crop. But it's just really about preventative measures, just spraying like ferments, keeping everything nice and green. I haven't sprayed anything as of yet, but we will be spraying here probably today or tomorrow. Just a quick, easy, like a little FAA, probably some humic acid, a little drop of humic acid, a little drop of FAA, a little drop of maybe comfrey FPE. Mix it into a gallon jug and just come around and spray the plants, spray everything with it. Maybe a little lactic acid bacteria in there with it. Look, there's a little powdery mildew. That's powdery mildew. This plant loves powdery mildew. Am I afraid that those spores are going to spread? No. Those spores will go everywhere, but they don't stand a chance on any other plant. This plant is just susceptible to powdery mildew. These plants are not. It's just a force field around them. This one, for some reason or another, around the tips, around the not tips, but where the leaf comes out, seems to want to have powdery mildew, and it always has. All we gotta do is keep it in check. A little lactic acid bacteria, the same lab we put in the creek, we mix it into a gallon jug of water, keeps it in check. That lab will eat that powdery mildew, and as long as we keep the environment right, semi-right in here, that powdery mildew will not spread. I've watched it. I've been watching it. It's quite the crazy phenomenon, so to speak, like how it can be right next to a plant and not affected at all, and like literally be right there. It's crazy, but that's how nature works. It only gets on those plants that are accessible to it, and successful. How do you say that word? Accessible? Not accessible, but like I said, I'm dyslexic, man. I'm dumb when it comes to that stuff. But I see things. That's it. That's it for today. We're gonna head on inside. And I hope everybody has a great Sunday. And we're gonna be, we might go live today on Yellow Skunk Farms just to mess around. I haven't been live on Yellow Skunk Farms in a while, so we may go live today. Just while we work on this a little bit. We're gonna throw some clay down, probably stack some more rock. But I don't want to throw too much clay before I get the rock wall done, because that clay is a pain in the ass to walk on. It's sticky, it gets everywhere, it gets all over the floors. So I try and do it a piece at a time. So I'll do a little bit, stack some rock, go from there. Maybe throw some soil down around that just to keep it covered so I don't get that clay everywhere. And then we're going to have to start working on the pond. So we're going to remove this rock, and then we're going to get all that rock out of the center of the pond, concrete the side walls to hold that in, concrete the whole floor. We can get that done. That'll give us a place to stand, but we'll do a little at a time. So until then, peace.